Right, resolution to authorise the presentation of a case for the appeal which is against the grant of planning permission for this proposal on the basis, 1, harm to the open nature of the green belt, 2, impact from traffic from the development over the relevant highway network, and 3, unacceptable night-time noise impacts which cannot be acceptably mitigated by condition.
Can I gather that? Is that motion seconded?
Yes, it was.
Yes, Chair, seconded that.
Thank you.
Then, going through the list of members, Councillor Atkin.
For.
For. Councillor Ford.
I'm against, for reasons.
Councillor Griffiths. For. Councillor Groove. Councillor Eilish. For. Councillor Mahaley.
For.
Councillor Parkinson. For. Councillor Smith.
4.
Councillor Wall.
For.
And Councillor Wright.
For.
Thank you. So, the motion is carried, Chair, 9-1.
Right, hello, welcome back to the Fracking Farmhouse. We're having a little bit of a celebration, me and Mike here, because yesterday we won. We won the first round. We persuaded a Conservative majority council to overturn the advice of their planning officer and vote to oppose INEOS's application at the forthcoming public inquiry. This is kind of unprecedented, I think. It's amazing for us. It's absolutely wonderful. Yeah, cheers, mate.
Cheers.
I'm still getting my head around it. It's only 24 hours ago. Everything was stacked against us. We had the planner's report saying that all these bad effects were acceptable within the scheme of things and they can be controlled by regulation, and don't worry about it, just vote it through. And a week ago we weren't going to be allowed to speak, and it was only because a couple of our members of our committee went down and harangued them at the last meeting and said, why aren't we speaking, that they said, oh, okay, we'll let you speak. And then it was potentially chaos because they'd invited everyone to speak, and we managed it really work out. It's so well at that. So no, calm down. And we presented a well-balanced case. We had our Conservative MP, 2 Tory councillors, 2 Labour councillors, an ex-Labour MP, experts from our group and the neighbouring group, technical details on rainwater, on statistical analysis of traffic, heartfelt speech by Richard on the noise, which was incredibly emotional. Actually, the whole day was emotional. And Gloria told everyone about her bees and just like, wow. And they gave me 20 minutes. People clubbed together, gave me minutes so I could put a case together of all the reasons that for our duty of care, for our safety, that they must at least challenge it at the public inquiry. So that's all we've won. The public inquiry is coming in June, and there'll be INEOS on one side and there'll be the DCC and us on the other. So we've got some parity there. Going into yesterday's meeting, it could have been INEOS and the DCC on one side and Little Eckington against fracking on the other. You know, so like we've got a level playing field. We're delighted. We've got all the arguments, and we're ready to go. And people were asking me, I had an ecotricity round last week, and they were asking me lots of questions. And one of them was, what advice do you have for other anti-fracking groups? And I was sort of like, well, I don't know, I haven't got any advice really, because we hadn't won anything then, had we? But now we've won something. Oh, I know all about anti-fracking groups. I'll tell you all about anti-fracking groups. Right. One, you play to your strengths. You don't know. You get this group of strangers come together with us. It was a year ago. A group of strangers, all with different skills, and it's not like you have one person who's good at the internet and one person who's good at making bridges or something, or one person's a sound engineer. We just got to, you've got whatever you've got, make the most of it. And be thorough and be honest. Tell you what won yesterday, right, was our studying of this document, Ineos's planning document. Oh, that's a sound map. See, I know this document inside out, even upside down. We talked 13 speakers to the council, and we never once mentioned climate change. And if you know me, that is the main reason I'm doing the Fracking Farmhouse, the main reason I'm fighting fracking. But we had to persuade 2 Conservatives to come with us. And if we'd turned around and said, oh, it's climate change, it's radioactive gas, they would have gone, no, I just don't want to listen. It's about communicating. Think about who you're communicating to. If people are scared of climate change, don't tell them it's going to be worse. Just say, I know there's a solution, there's an alternative, it's renewable energy. So what we told the council yesterday was that the traffic was going to be awful, because they've given us the traffic figures, right? And then we told them that the noise was going to be awful, because they've given us the noise figures. And then we got an expert on Greenbelt, Jenny. She's been defending the Greenbelt round here for years. And she knew all the Greenbelt law, and I didn't know what Greenbelt was. Do you know it was rolled out by the Conservatives in 1955 as a little protective band to stop urban sprawl, and written into law there are certain protections for the Greenbelt. That's why Marsh Lane's so lovely. It hasn't been, Sheffield hasn't spread out. Sheffield is very close, Strawthorpe's really close. And then you go, Coldus, no, it's lovely. Marsh Lane, it's lovely. One of the precedents, well, I'd used 3 precedents in my argument. One of them was on the very site, planning permission was refused for a car boot sale on the grounds of traffic, and like Ineos are trying to get 14,000 vehicle movements for this site, 60, 70 HGVs a day, and one of the other things and then the next thing they was refused on the same site was a 15-metre telecommunications mast, and they want to put a well on that's 60 metres, that's 4 times 15, And there's a lovely quote about the visual amenity that came from that one. But the one that got the best laugh was just last year, just November, 500 metres from the site, an application was turned down for a carport because that was inappropriate development in the Greenbelt. And they want to put up a well patio. We all had a laugh. It was good. It was a wonderful day, and it was an unprecedented victory. And I think there'll be ripples for this going throughout the country, that a Conservative-led council has gone against its planning officer, against government policy to push this through, because they have listened to local people. And what they said to us, we said afterwards, we had a word, what was the key, how did we win, what was it? And it was our approach. We were polite, we were honest, we were well-mannered, and we were right. We had all the arguments, and we didn't even need to talk about climate change, because even an exploratory well has such massive environmental impacts on the community that it is near that it is unacceptable. MP 13, Minerals Policy 13, you must know it. Permission will be given to exploratory wells provided that the environmental impact is acceptable, and it's not acceptable. So yeah, that was brilliant. But I've been thinking long about this, because we're on a roll. We are, the week before Harthill was rejected, and one over in Ellesmere Port was rejected. The anti-fracking movement is just gaining ground now all the time. We're on a roll, and I've been thinking about it, and I think that the tide changed in October last year. October 17, with the gas security of supply. I've mentioned it before, I know, but this says that we have a secure supply of gas for the next 20 years without shale gas. What they've been using for a long time in these politics of our time, a fear of neoliberalism, is you put a fear in people and say you have to do something you don't want to do because the alternative is frightening. And the standard one is the Russians will turn the taps off, You know, you won't be able to switch your heating on. You'll be cold in your homes, you know, because we need fracking. The gas security supply, a government thing that says we don't need it. It's just an option. It's on the table. And then you look at, you know, okay, so we can either buy it from abroad until we cut down our usage of it, or or we frack with all the environmental damages. And we were told yesterday, Derbyshire County Council agreed to side with Eckington against fracking at the forthcoming public inquiry and oppose the shale gas well at Marsh Lane. And that is just fantastic news. We won. 9-1. The people 9, Ineos 1. We won. So cheers from the Fracking Farmhouse. It's good to have some good news, isn't it? Take care.